in this session we will take up the concept of nutrition. So nutrition is the first life processes that we are learning. So what exactly you mean by nutrition? See, the word nutrition means it's the process we take in food. The food is nothing but the nutrients. So what all nutrients we basically eat? We will basically take up carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals, water, all these things, right? So that's the way, the uptake of nutrients and also how the body utilizes. In the sense, the nutrients what we are taking in has to be distributed to different parts of the body so that they are provided for the utilization. So this is what we will be studying under nutrition. So how will the definition go? Nutrition is a process of intake of nutrients and utilization of these nutrients by an organism. So what are the nutrients that they will be taking up? It's carbohydrates, minerals, proteins, fats, water, all these things are considered as nutrients, right? And this process of nutrition is not same in all organisms. Even in organisms, we have multicellular organism and unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are basically made simple. They don't have any specialized structure in their body for nutrition. So they will show this entire process of nutrition by a simple process of diffusion. I'll tell you what we will learn what is diffusion when we talk about the nutrition in amoeba, right? But in multicellular organisms, the same process of nutrition will be carried out by specialized structures in the body. That is, we have a specialized system that is called as digestive system in the body. So again, in plants, the process of nutrition is different. That is, they will show the process of autotrophic nutrition, the process of photosynthesis. So we will be taking up the process of nutrition in different organisms under this concept, right? But however different the organisms shows the process of nutrition, the methods are same. So all the organisms, all the animals basically show the same steps of nutrition. So you have 5 different steps of nutrition. So what is the first step? So first step is ingestion. In the sense, the organism has to take up the food. The process where the organism takes the food within themselves is called as ingestion. So what is the next process after ingestion? It is digestion. So what do you mean by digestion? In this step of digestion, the food what we have intake, the food that is consumed is broken down into simple substances. So basically the word digest means breaking of complex substances to simple substances. So this is what happens during the digestion step. So after digestion, what is that we have? It is absorption. Absorption is the process where the digested food or the simple foods in the body is absorbed, in the sense it is taken up by the blood. That is called absorption. So the absorption of the simple nutrients by the body is called as absorption step. And then we have assimilation. So what do you mean by assimilation? Assimilation is nothing but distribution of the nutrients to different parts of the body. See, because in multicellular organisms, we basically have the complex body nature. So each part of the body or each organ system, each cell in the body has to get the nutrients. So that distribution process happens in assimilation. And then after each body parts absorb the nutrients, they will take up the nutrients, they will use whatever they wanted and they will give the waste products back. So these waste products has to be brought back and they have to be thrown out of the body. So this process of throwing out of waste is called as ingestion. So basically these are the 5 steps that happens in nutrition process: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and ingestion. We know the steps that all the organisms are showing. So basically the steps shown by the organisms for the process of nutrition is same. Now the next concept is, after they show the process of nutrition, what is that they will be doing with it? So the process of nutrition will give out some energy and this energy is utilized by the organisms in order to show the process of growth. So how do organisms grow now? So they will grow by making use of the nutrients that is taken in. So they will break up the nutrients and they will form the simpler substances. That simpler substances is getting into each part of the body, and the body cells will show the process of growth. So basically, what are the nutrients that we have? So we take in carbon based compounds. So in our food, if we see, it is basically we have carbohydrates and we have proteins and we have fats, right? So these are the major food we basically take in. So in the sense, take example of your food or the things that you eat. We basically eat chapatis, rice, dal. So all these things have carbohydrates, proteins and fat in them. And we take a little amount of minerals, vitamins in all the colorful foods that we take, right? So but the major nutrients are carbohydrates, proteins and fat. So these carbohydrates, proteins and fats are broken down into simpler substances. Okay, and all the three of them, carbohydrates, protein, fat, all the three are made up of carbon. Majority of the thing that is available is carbon, right? So these carbohydrates are basically broken down into sugars, that is simple sugars. And if the carbohydrate is the plant source that we are taking, example, you take wheat chapati. So wheat is obtained from a plant source, right? So in plants, carbohydrates will be in the form of starch. In animals, it will be in the form of glycogen. So if we are taking plant source, it is starch broken down into simple sugars. Starch is complex, it is broken down into something simple that is called as sugars. Similarly, proteins. Proteins are broken down into other simpler substances that is called as amino acids. Similarly, fat is broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. So these are the complex substances broken down into simpler substances. When these compounds are broken down, some amount of energy is released and the body uses this energy in order to show the process of growth. See, this process of breaking down complex substances into simpler substances happens in the body with the help of processes that is called as oxidation and reduction. So what do you mean by oxidation and what do you mean by reduction? Oxidation is the process where we take in oxygen. It is nothing but addition of oxygen. Reduction is a process where we see the removal of oxygen. So this happens by the process of respiration, right? So we take in oxygen by the process of respiration. So oxygen that is obtained during the process of respiration is used up to show the process of oxidation and reduction in a body, and this is what helps you to break down carbohydrates to sugars, proteins to amino acids and fats to fatty acids and glycerol. So it's basically with the help of respiration, digestion is happening. So here respiration and digestion processes are interlinked, right? So after this breakdown happens, what is being done? You have the process of releasing energy. So the energy which is released by these processes are utilized by the body to show various metabolism. Okay, so without energy, our body cannot do anything. So the energy that is given out is used for the process of growth in order to show the molecular movement inside the body, the blood flowing, all these things are the movement. So all these movements require energy. And also the process of respiration and any process that happens inside your body requires energy, and the energy the body gets is by this process. So this is the background of nutrition. Now we will take up what are the different kinds of nutrition and what is the process of nutrition that we see in different organisms.